ought to mention, along with that Sun Belt poll, they haven't released the Southern Conference poll that, oh yeah, I voted on, and I'll tell you what my votes were for the Southern Conference here. Marky Billson here, Tri-City Sports Now, jetbroadcasting.live, and don't forget the 1420 WEMB Sports Radio Facebook page. So if you missed this, or you're out of range, or whatever, you can watch it a little later on, or you can watch and see this handsome face of mine on YouTube and some of the, not YouTube, I do have a few videos up on YouTube, I should point that out, but we do this on Facebook Live as well. You can see my leather face tie that I'm wearing here because I kill it every day. But let me just give you, because you're at the Sun Belt where App State is the favorite, I think ETSU is going to finish second in the Southern Conference this year behind Wofford. Wofford number 1, ETSU number 2, Furman number 3, Chattanooga number 4. Those are the schools I think could win it this year. Tyree Adams in Western Carolina should be fun to watch, so they'll be number 5. I don't know about Mercer at number 6. It just seemed to be in line for a regression. VMI, I think, will be the most improved team in the conference. You heard me. That means that they'll go from 1-10 to about 3-8 and finish 7th. The Citadel, I saw, what was it? Hero Sports picked them for number 25 in the country. I don't see it. I don't see them as being that outstanding. They were 5-6 last year. I had them 8th. I think VMI can beat them. I mean, you're talking about a team that throws the ball against a team that runs the ball. You do the math. And then a team that I think, Samford. And I just, Samford has no fans. Samford has no... I don't see anything now that Devlin Hodges is gone that's outstanding about Samford. I mean, I think that's a team that could fall all the way. I really do. Watch them win it. But, that's the thing. Now, the SEC Media Days, they came out with their top 20, their standings, and let me repeat this. We did this a little bit earlier on, but it's worth repeating since you just heard the Sun Belt poll. Alabama picked to win it, but what's surprising is how close it was between Alabama and Georgia. Alabama had 253 first-place votes, followed by the Bulldogs, Jaw at 233. So only 20 votes out of approximately 500 separating Georgia and Alabama for who will win the SEC. Of course, both those teams picked to win their divisions, West and East, respectively, Alabama and Georgia. Florida picked to be pretty much the third best team. They got the third most first place votes, only 21 of them. But they'd be your second place team in the SEC East, followed by Missouri, who will be a dark horse. I'm telling you this right now. South Carolina, Tennessee, number 5. That's what the pick is out of Media Days. One person voted to win the whole thing. Then Kentucky, one person picked them to win the whole thing. And then Vanderbilt, nobody picked them to win the whole thing. Whoever does. They haven't won a conference title since 1923. In the West, it's Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, who nobody voted number 1. Auburn, who somebody did, and Mississippi State, who somebody did, finishing 5th. Then Ole Miss and Arkansas, you probably could have figured that one out yourself, 6 and 7 respectively. So since those were the polls, I told you. Good news for the Denver Broncos. Drew Lock out of Missouri. I remember when he played as a freshman, it looked awful, but people said, look out for this guy. And then Josh Heupel became his offensive coordinator, and then Derek Dooley became his offensive coordinator. Yes, the man Tennessee fans love to hate. And guess what? Drew Lock is now, he's fighting for a starting job with the Denver Broncos. He was their quarterback taken in the second round. He'll be their quarterback of the future. Last question Butch Jones ever answered in a press conference was about Drew Lock, and he said, I think you'll see him playing in the NFL. And sure enough, he will. So, let's take a look at this. Now, one of the things here is that he comes to a team, and Joe Flacco, of course, was traded to the Denver Broncos in the offseason. It's likely he'll be the initial starting quarterback. Of course, the Broncos just, they've really looked for quarterbacks, one could even say, during Peyton Manning's last season. I mean, he got benched, didn't he? came back to lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl with guile, but, 9 to 17 touchdown interception ratio. Come on, that sort of thing. Anyway, Joe Flacco is talking about now, after more than a decade with the Baltimore Ravens and winning a Super Bowl there, well, he's excited about being part of the Denver Broncos.
There is an energy about coming here and an excitement that I feel about coming to this new team and, getting another chance to, be a starting quarterback in this league. I don't think you can ever take for granted how awesome it is to get to do what I'm doing and what we are all doing. So I'm definitely excited about it and ready to go.
Football writer Vic Fangio also praises Joe Flacco.
Joe's got a calm demeanor about him, and but he's still a fiery competitor, But I think Joe's, at times in his career, he's got that calm demeanor about him, and when things are going good, it's Joe cool. And if things aren't going good, well, Joe doesn't care that much, or he's not getting fired up. So that's how Joe is, okay? But Joe's a competitor.
And maybe, just maybe, by the way, I said Fangio was a writer. I'm sorry, he's the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Forgive me, that was a Freudian slip. Fangio talks about the competition. Maybe, just maybe, that's why Drew Lock from Missouri, who completed 63% of his passes last year with the Tigers and had a 28-8 touchdown interception ratio, decided right before the training camp began, he said, I'm ending my holdout. Where do I sign? All right, this is the money I want. Fine, let's do it. And maybe having Joe Flacco in that camp is the reason why. Because, Tennessee fans, you think if Heath Schuler had to do it all over again, he would have held out from the Redskins? You think? Probably not. Maybe that wouldn't have made him into an NFL star that so many projected him to be, but it wouldn't have hurt him. In hindsight. Would not have hurt him. And Drew Lock, I think, realizes this. I could give you a bunch of quarterbacks that held out and never really, developed into their full potential by doing so. Drew Lock sees the future. He sees where his money will be made with a lengthy career, not with an initial contract. And he wants the lengthy career. He wants to get it off and running. He doesn't want to lose anything initially. So he shows up in Broncos camp. Okay, sure. Team has the advantage over the player. Fans root for teams. So, there you go. There you go. You can say what you will, but I have a real tough time knocking Drew Lock for that decision, even if it did possibly cost him a couple of bucks or two. I think you'll find that he'll make them later on. And again, if that sounds like the team is always right, well, so be it. The New Orleans Saints, they may not always be right. Heck, they wanted to sue the league, right?
4 New Orleans Saints fans just can't let it go, and a Louisiana judge is on the same page after ruling Thursday that a damage lawsuit can continue against the NFL over the playoff no call that helped the Los Angeles Rams beat the Saints and advance to the Super Bowl. It all stems from a crucial play in the NFC title game when Rams cornerback Nickel Roby-Coleman slammed into receiver Tommy Lee Lewis helmet to helmet well before the ball arrived. There was no penalty. With the ruling, Saints fan and attorney Tony Lamont can request documents and question Commissioner Roger Goodell and 3 game officials. The plaintiffs want $75,000 in damages, which would go to charity, but nothing will change the outcome of the game. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
Waste of time. And I realize it's not the Saints, it's Saints fans. I get it. Waste of time. Look at us. First of all, blame Sean Payton for that whole mess. Saints go to the Super Bowl if he runs the ball on first down and doesn't ask, Drew Brees to throw. That's what he should have done. The Saints, by the way, had numerous chances. They could have held the Rams in their final drive. They could have held the Rams in their drive in overtime. There's just so much. Blocked the long field goal, all that sort of stuff. And for them to complain about bad call, yeah. But we are taking this to a level on that bad call when the Saints have just as much to blame on themselves as anything else for losing that game to the Rams. And what with, well, we can review pass interference, which everybody says is going to be a disaster, to, what is this frivolous suit? I mean, why not blame the parameters that can be controlled? The Saints' strategy? The Saints play on defense. That's where the game was lost. You want to raise $75,000 for charity? Raise $75,000 for charity. Sell "We Was Robbed" t-shirts or something. Won't be accurate. Be a lot more ethical. Won't be a frivolous lawsuit. I'm Marky Billson. I want to remind everybody Asian House is open. Go there this weekend. Although on Sunday, it's Sunday dinner after church, and so they don't have their lunch menu. They do have the dinner menu, so larger portions. But you can save money by mentioning my name, Marky Billson, over there to Tom and Company at Asian House on West Market Street. Actually, the shop's in West Market. It's off of West Market, the shopping center there. On your way to Jonesboro, about a mile down from the State of Franklin and Market Street intersection. Or, if you're coming in from Jonesboro, from Greenville, that sort of thing, it's on your right-hand side, the shops at West Market Shopping Center right there. Plenty of parking. You'll see the banners up. Tom really treats you well. I've been talking about them for catering, for your picnics, but why not after church on Sunday? Hey, everybody likes Chinese. And also, if you haven't eaten lunch yet, think about sushi. It's exotic. It's tasty. It's a little different. It won't slow you down. Not like burgers or, fried chicken or something. They always will. This won't. And you'll be satisfied. It's Asian House. It's in the shops in West Market. They're on the way to Jonesboro on 11E or 321 West Market Street. You know it. Or perhaps if you're going to Johnson City from Jonesboro, the finest and perhaps most exotic Asian restaurant in the Tri-Cities, Asian House. Mention my name, Marky Billson, 10% off. Mention Josh Brown's name, you'll think of Oklahoma Nation and the Atlanta Braves. Lost by a lopsided score last night to the Washington Nationals. Something to be afraid of? Where do the Braves stand up? We'll be talking about that after this. Tri-Cities Sports Now.